Welcome to The Late Show, everybody. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Tonight, I told you, lovely people.
Great vibe, man. It's on point tonight.
Tonight, as we speak, Donald Trump is here in New York City because tomorrow he is going to address the United Nations General Assembly. His speech is going to be translated into 6 languages, including English. But
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
But the big story is the new sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee and man about to show you how bunnies make more bunnies, Brett Kavanaugh. Last night, The New Yorker published accusations from a Yale classmate of Kavanaugh's named Deborah Ramirez, who said she remembers Kavanaugh exposed himself at a drunken dormitory party, thrust his penis in her face, and caused her to touch it without her consent as she pushed him away. Wow. Yeah. Seriously, that's not good. That is not good. I mean, you expect that kind of thing at Dartmouth, but Yale. Wow. At least, please tell me his penis was wearing a bow tie. I just... We are poor little lambs. Now, Ramirez acknowledges that she has gaps in her memory, because she had also been drinking that night, but she remembers that somebody yelled down the hall, "Brett Kavanaugh just put his penis in Debbie's face." And a little further down the hall, a 50-year-old Chuck Grassley yelled, "Get that man on the Supreme Court." That's the judicial. Show me your judicial branch. Now, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Fine family joke. Now, her memory might be a little fuzzy, because I doubt he waxed, but The New Yorker learned about this because Ramirez's classmates at Yale were talking to each other about it. They were emailing about it back in July, before Christine Blasey Ford even came forward. I believe we have one of the emails. "Hey, remember that guy in college we called the floppy bandit? Turn on CNN." Obviously.
That's what they called him?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's what the email said. I don't know. That's what the email said. Now, obviously, this is a disturbing allegation that has to be investigated. You don't want to confirm a perv to a job where you get to wear a robe every day. We don't know. We don't know at this point. And just minutes before the New Yorker story dropped, another allegation was announced by Stormy Daniels' lawyer and sexy lacrosse ball, Michael Avenatti. Avenatti tweeted that, "I represent a woman with credible information regarding Judge Kavanaugh," and later shared an email that claims Kavanaugh participated in the targeting of women with alcohol, drugs, in order to allow a group of men to subsequently, and I'm not even going to say what, because it's just too horrible to say on CBS. And may I remind you, this is the network that airs NCIS, voted most corpses in primetime. Now, proudly, they won the Emmy for most corpses in primetime, I believe. Now, we don't know who the third accuser is, or the substance of these accusations that Avenatti is talking about, but that didn't stop Trump from knowing who the real victim is here.
There's a chance that this could be one of the single most unfair, unjust things to happen to a candidate for anything.
It's not fair. It's not fair that he had just 3 accusations and he might not get the gig. I had 19 accusations and they gave me the launch codes, so that doesn't... I don't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I can't count. And this is not the only time he's weighed in the last few days. After being praised for most of last week for staying above the fray, on Friday, Trump remembered how dumb he is and tweeted, "I have no doubt that if the attack on Dr. Ford was as bad as she says, charges would have been immediately filed with local law enforcement authorities by either her or her loving parents. I ask that she bring those filings forward so that we can learn date, time, and place. Yes, bring those filings forward, says the man who's afraid to release his tax returns. Also weighing in was chairman of the Judiciary Committee, an old man at the crossroads telling you to go back! Go back! Chuck Grassley. Grassley spent days trying to pressure Blasey Ford to testify as soon as possible, then pushing back the deadline multiple times. So on Friday, he tweeted an apology to the persons he's promised to investigate. Judge Kavanaugh, I just granted another extension to Dr. Ford to decide if she wants to proceed with the statement she made last week to testify to the Senate. She should decide so we can move on. I want to hear her. I hope you understand. It's not my normal approach to be indecisive. Okay. He knows this is a tweet, not a text, right? Everyone can see what you're typing, sir. Dearest Judge Kavanaugh, I hope this Twitter letter finds you well. Love to the missus. Sincerely, Senator Grassley. Now to put this phone in an envelope and send it to you. Love, Chuck. Does anyone have an envelope? Thank you, John. For his part, Kavanaugh is attempting a bold new defense strategy, announcing he has calendars from the summer of 1982 that he plans to hand over to the Senate Judiciary Committee that do not show a party consistent with the description of his accuser. He kept a calendar in high school, and we have obtained a copy. I believe it was the 1982 Alibi of the Day calendar. Who hangs on to their high school calendars? Have you kept your stuff from high school?
No,
the only things I have left over from high school are deep emotional scars. Now,
that was a deep time.
but you keep those fundraising letters coming.